I'll be real. Just seeing this ruined my entire day. What's up, guys? It's Flossin, and today, I'm not happy. Well, I kind of am, because it's Christmas Eve, and by the time you're watching this, it'll be Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I hope you're still having a great day anyway. Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm not having a good day. I'll be 100% honest. This is a video I didn't really want to make, but I feel like this problem has gone on for far too long. Soldier 11 has been done dirty since the beginning of Zenless Zone Zero, and I can't just sit around and watch it happen without being vocal. But before we dive in, I want to clear one thing up. No, I'm not here just to cry about the new agents in the game. I understand that this is a gacha game, and limited agents will always be stronger than standard ones. So no, I don't hate either of these characters. Okay, maybe this one just a little bit, but that's not the point. I'm not mad just because of that. I actually have some valid reasons for why I'm frustrated, and today, I want to talk about it. So we're going to cover a little bit of Evelyn, Obol Squad, and the blatant disrespect Soldier 11 has endured. Oh, and if you enjoy this kind of unhinged different content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It's completely free and lets me know that you enjoy these rants. Alright, with formalities out of the way, let's talk about Soldier 11, because holy god, I don't understand what's happening. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Evelyn. Oh, Evelyn, Evelyn, Evelyn. She's the new fire attack agent coming soon to Zenless. I'm sure you already know how I feel about this, and Kete, if you're watching, dude, if you make fun of my Soldier 11 in my DM one more time, I'm pulling Lighter on a rerun and keeping him at level 1. Alright, anyway, I personally don't have much to say about Evelyn right now because her kit hasn't been revealed to the public, but one thing is certain, she will be better than Soldier 11. That's just how gacha games work, and again, I'm not mad about it. Evelyn will honestly be a great addition to accounts who don't have Soldier or Bernice, and with the 1.4 update being here, we'll probably see a lot of new or returning players pulling for her. That said, I do have my own personal beef with this agent, not because of her power, but because her release highlights a bigger issue here. Let's talk about factions. Since the game launched, Soldier 11 has been the only Obol Squad member. Meanwhile, we've seen 3 entire factions released, that being the Nep Squad, the Sons of Kaladin, and Section 6. Between all of those factions, that's 11 new agents added between them, and 9 of them were S ranks. Now, why is this bad? Well, for context, one S-rank banner lasts for 3 weeks, meaning it took roughly over half a year to release all these S-rank agents. That's over 6 months of development and storytelling dedicated to building out these factions, giving them synergy, lore, and depth. And yet, Obol Squad still only has 1 member. Why? This isn't about the timeline. It's about balance. In a game that emphasizes faction synergy and team building, leaving an entire faction incomplete for this long feels like a glaring oversight. Imagine if Section 6 only had Sokaku, and no Miyabi or other members to flesh it out. It wouldn't feel like a cohesive faction. It would feel like a placeholder. And that's exactly what's happening with Obol Squad. Sure, I get that some new factions tie directly into the main story, but that's where the frustration comes in. Hoyoverse seems so focused on introducing new things that they're neglecting the foundation they've already laid. Obol Squad has been in the game since launch, yet it's being treated as an afterthought, while the newer shiny factions get the spotlight. Now, I will admit, you could argue that Obol Squad might be insane when they finally release. And honestly, I hope that's true. I'd love to see Trigger in the game. She was teased a little bit in Soldier 11's side quest, and her addition could be amazing. Having another fully fleshed Obol Squad member would not only make Soldier 11 more viable, but also finally give her the faction identity that she's been missing. But unless I see some drip marketing soon, or I don't know, at this point even some dreams about Obol Squad, my hope is fading really fast. Every time a new faction gets introduced, it feels like Obol Squad gets pushed further into the background. And it's not just speculation. I know that Hoyoverse isn't done with Evelyn's faction. We're gonna see at least 1 or maybe even 2 members added again, and their banners will probably run for 3 to 6 weeks each. That means Obol Squad's release, if it's even planned at this point, gets pushed further and further back. At this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if Soldier 11 ends up being the last piece of her own faction to get addressed, and that's if she's addressed at all. And speaking of addressing Soldier, let's talk about her side quest, because I think this is where it gets even messier. Why does Soldier 11 have no connection to the main story? Every other S-rank agent we've seen has had a meaningful story involvement. We've seen Kaleda and Grace, Ellen and Lycon, Ji-Yun and Jane. Hell, even Lucy got an entire cinematic with multiple cutscenes fleshing out her relationship with Caesar. And she's an A-rank agent. Even her counterparts like Seth and Ben have been a pivotal point to the plotline. But Soldier 11? Yeah, here's a quick side quest about you chasing down a guy called the Mole, and Soldier 11 calling you different names every 5 minutes.
My identity remains a secret. It's all thanks to you, Burgundy Silhouette.
Like, bro, are you serious? You're telling me an S-rank agent is less important than the A ranks in the game? What is Hoyoverse cooking? Because they're not in the kitchen, bro. It feels like Soldier 11 has been completely forgotten. Now, I'll be honest, I'm underplaying her side quest a bit here. It was actually really enjoyable, and it had some great moments. The dynamic between Soldier and the Mole was fun to watch, and the quest gave us a glimpse into her personality, which I really appreciated. It's not like it was bad, it's just that it shouldn't be all that she gets. Soldier 11 is one of Hoyoverse's standard banner characters, and yet she feels so disconnected from the main story. Compare that to the other standard banner characters we've seen, Kaleda, Grace, Rena, Lycon. They've all had important roles to play in fleshing out the game's narrative, but Soldier? Nothing. It's frustrating because it makes her feel like she's less of an important role and more like a throwaway character who just happens to be in the game. I don't think it's enough to give her a side quest and call it a day. She's an S rank. She should have a significant role in the overarching story, especially when we've seen many other agents, A ranks included, being treated like central figures. I just don't get why Hoyoverse would introduce someone as interesting as Soldier only to leave her benched. Oh, and another thing, Soldier and Anby have unique voice lines for each other in combat, which only happens with faction members. So for context, when you pair faction members together, like Nicole and Anby, they'll say unique voice lines to each other during combat. You can see it in the clip that's being played now. So why does Soldier and Anby have this interaction despite being in different factions? This clearly hints at a deeper story connection, but where is it? Am I gonna have to wait another 6 months for a tiny drop of lore? I'll be real, man, that's not the move. It feels like Soldier 11 was added to the game as an afterthought, and the devs are just in no rush to flesh her out at all. Now, you could call me a baby, you could say I'm being impatient, you can even say I'm a Soldier 11 simp, but I don't think I really fit into any of those categories. Okay, maybe the last one. But I don't think I'm being irrational here. Zenless is a faction-based game, and it feels wrong to have an S-rank agent without any teammates, without any real lore, and without any connection to the main story. I'm tired of running Soldier with random characters like Kaleda and Lucy. Like, yeah, I could have picked up Lighter or Ching Yi, but that doesn't solve my main issue here. I want to see Obol Squad, and if I'm being honest, it's really annoying seeing faction after faction being released without any hint of info about Soldier or Obol Squad. But yeah, I think that's enough crying out of me. Guys, I don't want you to think I'm dissatisfied with the game. I've been having a blast with 1.4, and there's a lot to do. From events, story quests, and new game modes, it's been really great. I just wish this faction situation didn't leave such a sour taste in my mouth. Now, I've been one to always hear others out, so this whole thing has me really curious. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Soldier 11's situation? Do you agree or disagree with my take? And what do you think Hoyoverse is planning for Obol Squad, if they're planning anything at all? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like down below. It's completely free and lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. Until next time though, happy gaming, and may your polls be ever in your favor.